Hello and welcome to the Search Buzz video recap. My name is Barry Schwartz. Today is Friday, June 26th. Sorry about missing last week. I potentially had the swine flu. I'm not sure if I did or not. I don't think I did. I didn't feel like I was that sick. But the doctor put me on Tamiflu and I did feel a lot under the weather. Plus, I did get my new iPhone and it came on Friday. So between that and feeling sick, I didn't feel it was appropriate to do a video. Outside of that, I thought we'll continue the videos this week. We have a lot to discuss. And it's pretty interesting stuff, so definitely stay tuned, and hope you like the Friday, June 26th edition. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. Thanks. So on June 24th, 23rd, there was a PageRank update, a Google Toolbar PageRank update. Obviously, the PageRank score in the toolbar is not exactly always up to date. PageRank does matter on some level, but the PageRank score you see in the toolbar is not that important because it's usually exported several months out of date, which then shows you outdated data. The thing is, Google previously did an update on May 27th, May 28th. Which was about a month ago, less than a month ago, and they now did another update. People are actually seeing this update, this toolbar update, reverse a little bit, so I'm not exactly sure exactly what's going on. We do have a lot of discussion about this on June 24th at seroundtable.com with lots of links to webmasters discussing this. Again, I would not focus too much on this. It's just something that a lot of people discuss when it happens, and thus we cover it. So Bing, Microsoft's new search engine, is getting a lot of buzz over the course of the past several weeks, or a few weeks since it launched. A lot of that buzz is revolved around how they're gaining market share, how a lot more people are using Bing, finding search results, liking the new search engine, and using it more and more often. We did see a post on Webmaster World on June 25th, we posted that on June 25th at seroundtable.com, where it seems, I'm not exactly sure, but it seems that Microsoft is continuing with their test on what they call cloaking tests or spam tests, where they're actually sending interesting refers to your site. Typically they're pornography related or gambling related, and those refers are, I guess, a way for Microsoft to test if you're doing some type of cloaking or some type of spamming of the search engine. They've been doing this since April 2007, way back when Microsoft was known as Microsoft Search or Live Search. They continue to do this throughout 2007, 2008, and 2009, saying that they're going to stop doing this, but it seems that they continue to do this. Again, these are search quality tests. The question is, why are they sending these weird refers? And Microsoft said back in the day that it was because of they wanted to test for cloaking. And Microsoft said they'll stop doing it, but yet they continue to do it. They've done this several times. We reported this at least several times in the course since 2007, and it seems like they're doing it again. We don't have confirmation from Microsoft yet about this, but it's interesting to see that this is happening. Now, obviously, this isn't impacting a lot. It's impacting only a few number of sites. So Microsoft's Bing share is definitely growing, and that's why we have another post today on June 26th about maybe it's time for search marketers to think about moving some of their budgets, their marketing dollars towards their ad center campaigns, which is Microsoft's paid search product, as well as maybe towards more SEO efforts towards Bing's search engine. So definitely take a look at that. If you definitely see in your analytics that Bing is growing and Yahoo might be declining or Google might be declining or wherever it might be, you might want us to go ahead and start looking to see how you should allocate those marketing dollars towards Bing and away from some other search engines. So often I see posts about, I want Google to improve this or that in either webmaster tools or in the forums or in the web search results. And it seems like it's just sporadically, sometimes Google will pick up an idea, sometimes they won't. So now Google is giving people a way to organize their ideas using Google Moderator, which is basically a tool we've discussed in the past that allows people to submit ideas and then other people to vote on those ideas. So obviously the more votes for a specific idea, the more Google will take notice. So Google released, wrote a blog post about it, as well as they released a link to what they're calling product ideas for Webmaster Central. You go there and submit product ideas for the Webmaster Central team, encompassing anything from YouTube videos that they might release to blog posts to the actual Webmaster Tools product, and you could then submit your ideas. Currently, only about 200 people have submitted ideas. There's a total of 135 ideas with over 3,000 votes on those ideas. So definitely, if you want to have a say on what Google works on next in Webmaster Tools, YouTube videos, whatever it might be regarding to webmasters, go to my blog post at seroundtable.com on June 25th you get to go to the archive section, and then click over to the product ideas for Webmaster Central, and you can have a say in what is actually going to be worked on next over at the Webmaster Central team. So last week we covered how Google is sometimes truncating or shortening URLs in the search results. So if you do a search for, iPhone, iPhone OS 3.0, or whatever it might be, Google might sometimes shorten the URL by putting eclipse or ... to break up and make that URL a single line. Sometimes they'll show 2 lines and break up the URL with ... So we posted about this last week on June 19th, but today, on June 26th, we posted a response from Jamie at the Google Web Search team, who explains why and how Google does this. So he says they try to do a balancing act between 2 different things. One is they want to provide enough information for the searchers to make informed decisions on which result to click. Obviously, a display URL has a major component to that, as well as they want to present the results in an easy and readable, scannable format. So 1 line, 2 lines. 2 lines is sometimes a little bit too much for people to scan and read. So sometimes they try to truncate that even to 1 line, but they also want to keep that information, the keywords in that display URL. So when it comes to the balancing act, to accomplish number 2, they'll sometimes omit parts of the URL, replacing them with the ... when we determine that those parts are critical to representing that page. And obviously they do this, they don't want to miss the number 1 goal, which is to make sure they provide enough information for people to actually click on the URL. So sometimes they'll truncate it only to 2 URLs, sometimes they'll truncate it to 1 URL, depending on if they're able to do that. This is a new thing that people are spotting. If you want more information about this, June 26th at SEOroundtable.com. There was a lot of discussion on Google AdSense this week, specifically about how the earnings reports do not match up with what they're expected to be paid. It seems like it's not really a bug, but yet it was a date range thing. So Google by default was showing a date range that was not equal to what the date range people were expecting. And because of that, people went to the page, they didn't really look at the date range, and they're like, wait a second, I'm not getting paid what I was supposed to be getting paid, and my earnings reports are lower than I expected. The reason was because that date range was for a lesser time frame. So Google said they're going to go ahead and fix the default date range, and for now, just go to the advanced reports, and you can get the same report that you're expecting by changing that date range. There's a lot of posts about this. We have coverage about this on June 22nd. If you have any more questions, SEOroundtable.com. So this is interesting. Google's now, again, testing commission-based ads, pay for performance. They've done this in the past, a long time ago, in the AdWords realm, and I don't think they actually closed it down. But now they're doing something with product ads specifically. So if you do submit your products via Google Base, and sometimes those products might show up in the Google AdWords results, and we have screenshots of how this actually works. People click over, an advertiser, this is currently in beta, an advertiser can actually say, I'm going to pay a commission of what that sale is. And that's said, and the actual rank of that ad is based on the commission multiplied by the quality score, and that's how that ad is actually ranked in the actual search results. They are separate. It's currently a test. We have a lot more information about this with frequently asked questions. And if you definitely want to take a look at this, it's pretty interesting. I wonder if it will last. June 22nd at SEOroundtable.com. Another new beta from Google is that Google's actually doing Adsense for iPhone and Android applications. So they're calling it Adsense for mobile applications. It's currently a beta. You have to submit a form and be included. I hope they get included right now. But if you do have an iPhone or Android device, they're currently running in 2 apps, at least that I know of. One is Shazam, which is a very popular app, and also one is the Urban Spoon app, which you shake and show. So now Google's actually showing Google AdSense ads in mobile apps. I'm trying to get it included in this. This is pretty neat, and hopefully it'll be a pleasant experience. AdMob, which is currently a major ad network for the iPhone, is not doing that well for a lot of people, so maybe Google will. Who knows? AdWords professionals who manage multiple accounts for their customers, they have access to what they call the My Client Center, which allows them to quick access to the different clients they have, are noticing sometimes they're having technical bugs where it's actually, pushing them back or backwards. When they go to a campaign, they're trying to manage an individual customer's campaign, is actually pushing them out and putting them back to the My Client Customer Center, the homepage. So it's very hard for them to manage certain campaigns because they keep getting booted out to a top-level page. Google has been struggling with this issue for a fairly long time. I think it's been since late May, so it's been about a month. and Google said they're looking into it, but right now they still have no resolution. It might be cookie related. It's not exactly sure. Some people who saw it early on don't see it anymore. Some people who haven't seen it early on now are seeing it. If you are seeing it, we do have more information with links to post on June 25th at SEOroundtable.com. If you do a lot of international global advertising with AdWords, Google has released a new tool called Google Export Advisor. It's fairly neat. You plug in some keywords to ask you what region you want to target outside of the US, and then it will show you some tips on what those costs might be and if you actually will be profitable. They have a lot of screenshots on June 25th at SEOroundtable.com. It's very, very interesting. There's discussion about this at Webmaster World and Spin. Again, with lots of screenshots. If you do international advertising, global advertising with AdWords or any other search marketing campaign, even with SEO can help. Take a look at June 25th at SEOroundtable.com. Today and Friday, I posted about how to basically do SEO for Google Finance. So if you do want your articles showing up and you're in Google News and you want your articles to show up in Google Finance under a stock ticker, Google News actually wrote a thread describing how to actually help Google News figure out which articles should be placed in Google Finance. And how that works is basically they ask you to put the full stock ticker in the article. So that means you have to put the the exchange. So if it's NASDAQ, you do NASDAQ colon the ticker name. So in Google's case, you write NASDAQ colon GOOG and make it all one word, one syntax, and your article will likely be included in the search results over at Google News. It seems like when I did it, it actually came up fairly quickly in Google News, but it seems like Google dropped it out, maybe because somebody took a look at my post and it wasn't really related to the finance side of Google. But in any event, it's a very good tip for people who write about finance-related stuff and they want their articles to show up in Google News. Since we're on the Google News topic, Google News also released a more a discoverable way to find out which authors are writing certain articles. So if you go to the Google News site, you do a search for any article, sometimes they will actually hyperlink a link to the author's name. So if you do a search for, let's say, iPhone Spotlight, up comes an article that I wrote at Search Engine Land. It actually hyperlinks to the name Barry Schwartz. If you click on that, it does a syntax of author colon Barry Schwartz in quotes to find other articles that Barry Schwartz or that author has written. This is an advanced command that's been around for a while, but now they made it more discoverable by making a hyperlink to the author's name in Google News. It's been a crazy week, I think. Yesterday specifically, Michael Jackson has passed away. Farrah Fawcett also passed away, but the Michael Jackson news specifically had a major impact on the internet as well as Google. Google actually had some outages yesterday, confirmed outages, where some people were trying to access Google News querying Michael Jackson, and were getting basically "we're sorry" messages from Google because they couldn't handle the load. CNN and News.com both have some more details about how much traffic that was. News.com actually has a nice map, a heat map from Akamai, which is a major traffic provider that shows how much traffic was coming out of the internet related to Michael Jackson. It's pretty interesting. Lauren Baker at Search Engine Journal has a very nice sum up of how the search engine actually handled queries for the keyword Michael Jackson. Pretty interesting, pretty funny in some cases. And obviously there's lots of discussion going on about the whole Michael Jackson incident and how he passed away. But we linked to different webmaster-related topics about it because that's more relevant for our audience base. Finally, this June 25th, this past Sunday, was Father's Day. It was my first time being a father for Father's Day, which was exciting. I got a nice little card. The different logos we posted as well. We posted logos from Google, Yahoo, AOL, Dogpile, Bing, Ask.com, Creator Site Forums, and ourselves. So we have logos for Father's Day, plus past logos linked to. It was pretty nice, the different logos they had. In addition, Sunday was also the first day of summer, and Google did have logos. If your country didn't celebrate Father's Day, it had a logo up for that day. It was only in certain countries. The thing was, it was summer in one place, but it was also the first day of winter in other places. And saying the first day of winter was also something that people were upset about because people in the southern hemisphere don't necessarily agree with what Google considers the first day of winter, so there was some controversy over that. And if you want to look at more information about that, we have a post on June 22nd about the winter logo, and we have a post on the Father's Day logos on June 21st. Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there. All right, so thanks for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz. This is the news we covered over the past week at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Today is the Friday, June 26th edition, and hopefully you guys will tune in next week for next week's edition. Thanks for listening so much, and we'll see you guys next week. Everyone have a great weekend.